Yo, it's your boy, CJ, the dude they call CJ. How y'all doing today? And today I want to talk about this dream I had one time. It's kind of like crazy. Well, it's not crazy, but it's like I want to know what the message about it. The message inside the dream. If somebody can help me out with this. So the dream I had one time. So I was sitting in the park. I know that sounds wrong, but hear me out. I was just sitting in the park, sat down. I was watching everything, trying to gauge life because I was asking myself too many questions. So I just wanted to gauge outside, see what's outside was showing me. And this random white lady just walks up to me. I didn't know she's like a therapist. I learned this like the third encounter we talked to each other. So she sits down right next to me and she asks me, how are you doing? And I said, I'm doing okay. She said, are you really doing okay? I said, sometimes I am, sometimes I don't. You know? And she just sits there like she's like engaged with this shit. Like she's trying to figure me out. So she asks me, she said, what's wrong? And I break down and tell her, I low-key think the world is confusing to me. And she says, and she turns around and asks me, why do you think the world is confusing to you? And I said, I don't know, to be honest with you. It's a lot of stuff that I don't understand, but I can't explain at the same time. And she's like, oh, okay. She gives me like examples, but I ain't gonna lie, I forgot the examples. Cause these dreams it's like these dreams that happened like 6 months. Some of these dreams happened like 6 months ago. So she's like asking me questions about my family. And she asked me, she said, she asked me something about my family, like how close I am with my mom and my father. And she kind of throws that the racist jab, but I don't see it. And she talks about like my father, is he in your life and all that. You know how like white people ask you your father in your life and some shit. I ain't mean to say white people, my bad. Racist people will tell you that. And I said, yeah, he's in my life. We talk from time to time. He said, and she like asked me, were your mother and dad together? I said, they were, but they broke up before I came into this world. And she said, so you were raised out of wedlock? So you were born? I said, yeah, I was born out of wedlock. I ain't gonna say a lie to you. And then, like at the end of the cop, we start talking about my parents. And she asks me, do you wish your parents got back together? When I was younger, I was like, yeah. But now it's like, I would love it, but it's up to them. It's not up to me. So it's like, I really don't. It's not my it's not my intentions to no. So we talk for like 30 minutes and she leaves. And I wake up. The dream happens again, I say about a month later. So I'm back in the same place. And this white lady comes up to me again. And she asks me how I'm doing. I said, I'm making it. I'm just trying to survive out here in these streets, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, and then she asks me about relationships, like, when's the last time you had a relationship? And I told her it was in high school. And she was like, why has it been so long for you? Then she asked how old I was. I told her I was 30. And she says, so you haven't had a relationship, since 17 all the way to 30? I said, yes, I've tried, but it just ain't been going well for me. She said, what's been wrong? So I tell her I've tried many attempts, but the women just don't fuck with me like that. Or they just we talk for a minute and then they ghost me. And she says, why do you think they ghost you? And I told her, I said, to be honest with you, I can't, that's the one thing I'm trying to figure out. She said, because if you know me, I'm not the best texter in the world, so maybe it's that. So she's got me figuring out a lot of shit about what I've been thinking about life sometimes. And so she was like, have you tried? I said, yeah. I told her about the situation I had with the girl in that video, I told you I made about. And she's just like, wow. She said, why you think that went left? And I said, maybe it's just I was looking for love and she wasn't, or something like that. Or she tended to break it down to me, but it's just I don't remember what she says a lot. Because it was a crazy ass. It's she was breaking down why the girl didn't want me after she just got a relationship, and I understood that shit. So we talk again, and so she leaves, and the third time, this is 3 weeks later. So she comes back again, and the third time she asks about suicide. And she said, "Have you ever thought about suicide?" And I said, "Yeah, I've thought about it a couple of times. I ain't gonna lie, I thought about it 12 times. I ain't gonna lie to you." And she said, "Why?" And I said, all right, to be honest with you, some days I just wanted to go. I was sick of being here. She said, "How?" And then she's broken. They said, "How would your mom feel if you did this?" She'd be devastated. And she said, "How would your aunt feel about this?" I said, "She'd be devastated." "How would your friends feel?" I said, "Some of them would care. Some of them I wouldn't think they would give a fuck. They'd probably they'd be sad for a hot minute, and then they just give up. Well, he dead, so fuck it." So she says that, she says, "What's the root of your suicide?" And I said, one of them was because of a woman. And she said, "Why?" I said, I told her I was young and dumb, and I just thought, I deserved this woman, and then, and the bad thing, she wasn't the best looking, but it was just, I thought I deserved her. I didn't know I deserved her. I thought I can get her, because I was kind of on my confident tip. So that was the last time I felt confident. And I thought I can get that. And it didn't happen. And I was like, well, fuck it. And then because she dated a guy I had a fight with. And the guy's a pervert. So I said, well, if he can get her, I can get her. But short story shorter. My bad. I was trying to be pushy. She just taunted with me and just played my heart and shit. I don't know, man. I feel like I ain't never got no happy stories around here. So I think she like start talking to me about something, and then she gets down trying to get to the root of my problems. She still doesn't find it, so I think she just gives up. She walks away. And the next time I sit on this bench was like a week later, like last week, I don't see her again. I see her, but she walks away. Like she walks the other way when she sees me. And I was like, damn. And I didn't understand the mission of the dream. Maybe she was trying to be a therapist, trying to help me get through my shit, and I was just being stubborn. I don't know. But I would love for somebody to figure that shit out for me, because I couldn't figure it out myself. But all right, y'all. I love y'all. Peace. Good night, and have a wonderful, wonderful life. Peace.